Oh man, they really nerfed the 2, man. Okay. Nope. Well, that wasn't good. Wait, JPC just queued for a dungeon and we're talking in 1 minute. I'm just gonna call him and see if he picks up. Dude, he never knows what's going on. Legit never knows.
Yep. How's your day going?
It's going good. I just got done talking with fucking paladins for 2 hours, so I'm 3 hours,
Oh,
so I'm worn out. But
man.
yeah, but I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about Rogue. I know a ton of stuff is still not yet implemented, but they made a few changes since they have released these, and I kind of just wanted to talk about them with you and see how you feel about them, and to give any more further input on how you think they will play, or just any changes like that. Like they made some significant assassination changes. I've heard they made a bunch of sub changes, and I kind of just want to go through with you. We don't even really have to make a tree. Even you can just kind of just talk about what those look like, probably starting with Assassination. Have they made any class tree changes at
They
all?
did make one class, or it's like a few class tree changes. One is more major, the others are smaller. So previously, any of the specs would have been able to talent in the Garrote. And so any of the specs could have been able to silence out of stealth and do that whole thing. But they got rid of that and they put Shiv back. So any of the specs can have Shiv, to remove the enrage, but only Assassination gets Garrote, and Assassination will get 2 charges of Shiv if you take that. So that's kind of interesting compared to right now, you only get 1.
Looks like you probably have to take the second charge of Shiv because
Yeah,
it's like cut to the chase and elaborate planning are both in, and improved Shiv, which is 100% required, is all in line. So you just definitely will have 2 charges of Shiv.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I
So
think it's kind of good because it would mean that you have Shiv for the whole death mark, or because it's if it's I don't on live right now it's 10 seconds, but if you could Shiv back to back it'd be 20. Well, this tooltip says 5.
no, it's definitely nine seconds per thing. But yeah, the maybe a way that Reels is addressing this is people were talking about having to Shiv for your raid leader to buff a trophic poison, right?
Right.
And having a second charge of Shiv, you can potentially do that in some scenarios and not feel as fucked damage wise. If you're
Yeah.
going to end up be doing that an entire expansion.
Yeah.
There's also a couple other major changes with the assassination tree that I think are awesome. So I'll just fill in a little bit of the tree here and make my way down. They added shrouded suffocation back, at least in the way that it at least in the way that it generates combo points. It doesn't nearly increase Garrote damage by as much as it did previously, but I think combined with improved Garrote and the 15% here, it's still going to be a pretty nice opener and going to be much more generation. What else? They added serrated bone spike back to assassination as a choice node, which is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Did they move the energy refund
They
somewhere
did. They
else in the
moved
tree?
that up to the top actually, and they buffed it from 5, I think it was, to 7.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So now
so
you don't
good.
feel as bad going for the atrophic poison. Not like you were feeling bad before, but at least they put core damage spells right there on the way to go get it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. I mean you're gonna take a trophic poison in raid, and you're just not in any of their content.
Yeah.
But yeah, the internal bleeding and intent to kill are still there. The only thing with Bone Spike, and the other thing is Kingsbane is coming back. Now you never played with Kingsbane, right?
I mean, I played Legion for maybe I think I logged into Legion, but I never even really knew what Kingsbane was. So I never. It sounds cool, in theory. I guess. I guess you would sync it up with your death mark, and then maybe it's big damage for your poisons. But it's pretty far down that left side of the tree, so
Yeah, you
I
have
don't
to
know
get
if
you have to
you're-
get Tiny Toxic Blade to get it, and then you also go through Zoldyck, which is Zoldyck's gonna be really good in a lot of content. So it's probably just gonna be a 1 point option kinda. Have you thought any more about amplifying poison?
Well, yeah. So the main thing is that lethal dose seems super strong, and that's the one that's not yet implemented on the right, and it makes it for every single poison and bleed on the enemy, you deal 2%.
Wait, where is this?
It's right on the right, kind of down to the right below Deathmark.
I
It's
don't.
under Master Assassin. It's up from the Grope. Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so basically for every poison and bleed, it's just going to be a flat 2% damage amp. So if you pick up like Serrated Bone Spike, boom, you're doing 2% more overall, right? Or approximately. Um,
If you have amplifying poison and then you get dragon tempered blades.
right, and then you're doing even more. And then if you have Doom Blade, this is like another bleed every time you mutilate. So it'll be interesting to see if Kingsbane is worth it. Like you can't test Deathmark or Kingsbane at all right now, so like I don't know if it does big dam or not. But I know that previously, like before this build, a lot of people were just talking about trying to min max the lethal dose. And so if that was your plan, then I don't know if you could pick up Kingsbane. But I also don't. I'm on level 60, so
Yeah, yeah, you
yeah,
definitely have no way to like really play with it that much. But I mean, it's something interesting to think about.
yeah.
Because yeah, I think you have exactly enough points in your capstones to. Do you have exactly? No, you don't. So the rogue tree only does it only allow you to get one capstone?
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
kind of weird. I
Can
think
you
no
get
other
more
tree
in
is like
others?
that. Yeah, in almost every tree, I think every tree in the game actually, if there are 3 capstones, you can get 2 of them.
Well, one thing that is a little bit different about this tree is that you have those two 3-point nodes right before the last. Or I guess it's three actually, three 3-point nodes, and there's not really many 3-point nodes anywhere else in the entire tree for any of the specs. And this tree has three of them right before the final nodes. So
Oh, I
maybe
guess
because you're sinking so many points into those, it makes it
yeah, I
hard to
was
get
also
through.
wrong. You can definitely get 2, but only if you do the left side and the right. You can't do any of the middle. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So you can get these 2, but these are like kind of anti-synergistic, right? You wouldn't Kingsbane is like this is like basically pure single, not really, but like kind of this whole line of thinking here is like
yeah,
pure single, and then this line of thinking is like pure AoE, and then the
yeah.
middle is kind of the thing that bridges them, but you can't select that. But it's also the only reason is because Poison Bomb's a 2-point. So something to think about with Poison Bomb as well. How do you feel about the redesign?
I
They
mean, I
it
saw
it
that they
it,
changed
it,
it, but they just
it
increased the percentage chance
no,
by one,
it
right?
only procs off of Envenom now.
Oh, I think. I mean, I like it thematically, I guess, because like it doesn't really make sense to drop a poison bomb when you rupture, but I mean, it's also worse, right, than it was before. And it already like it's funny, like it already in Sanctum, it was like a 0.8% damage increase to take poison bomb. So over Crimson Tempest. So it
Okay.
always felt kind of weak to me in general. Um,
Yeah, I mean damage and proc rate can always be tuned. My guess for why they changed this was they didn't want indiscriminate carnage to like spawn a
drop a
million
bunch of.
poison bombs.
I see. I think that would be fun, but maybe it would be OP. Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I don't know if it would be OP. I mean, they already nerfed indiscriminate carnage to have a target cap.
yeah,
Previously, it didn't. Uh, Probably okay that that's the case, but I also there's like 2 interactions. I wonder if old poison bomb would have worked, and that's why they changed it. And I also wonder uh, if your improved garrote and shrouded suffocation, if that garrote that you apply is from stealth with this previously activated, I wonder if it gets the damage increase of all of this. And also silences, right?
it should.
Doesn't
Um,
wait, where's the
yeah, if you
silence garrote
the
node? Where is
silence
that?
is oh, it's Iron Wire. It's on the right. It's the one pointer.
Oh,
One
right
yeah
here.
yeah yeah
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, so like if you take iron wire, I wonder if you get an AoE 6-second silence with garrote, but only with this one ability every minute and a half. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
I
they
would think you
could.
would.
I'm pretty sure you would. I don't think that's like super broken. There's definitely multiple things in the game right now that AoE silence like that. Uh, but there's 2 versions of it, right, with 2 different classes. So I think it'd be okay if it did that. Definitely would give a lot more viability to this class in Mythic Plus. It seems like they gave a lot of ideas for Mythic Plus uh,
Yeah,
in this tree to this class, because like the single target build's just there. Like you can take it, right? Like it's the same shit. 2 charges of Shiv, some cool new shit at the bottom maybe Kingsbane again, but like it seems like an AoE is like where they really gave them the good shit.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I finally get to play some Assassination in NM Plus because I really haven't like this whole expansion. Pretty much, you haven't really played Assassination at all in NM Plus.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool.
It was definitely in fact the last time Assassination was used in Mythic Plus at all was actually when it was on like a low, like not giant pull dungeons, but Assassination was quite good at like 3 to 5 target damage, because like it's like just Shrouded Suffocation opener over and over again on pulls was just like really powerful. It depended on the key level. It was back in BFA, I think. Yeah, I mean that's when Shrouded Suffocation existed. So maybe this plus Indiscriminate Carnage can make them a little bit more powerful, depending on tuning. That's enough about Assassination. Do you have any takes about Assassination before we move on, though? They did move Fan of Knives to be baseline. That was another big change, right?
Yeah, I think it was higher up.
Yeah, Fan of Knives was where Shiv was.
Yeah.
And then they just made it baseline and just gave it Shiv, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think I like the changes in general, like where everything's at. It does feel like Poison Bomb could be a 1-pointer, so that way you could get the middle tree if you wanted to go all the way down.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It seems like that's the intent, too, right? Like, I would be willing to bet that this is just like an old build thing that will be fixed. The fact that every other thing is 1-3-1, 1-3-1, and this one's 2-3-1, I don't understand why specifically this one would be something where you can't get 2 capstones. I think that would be, it would make a lot of sense for that to exist. So,
Yeah.
but also you can't, if you ever want Serrated Bone Spike 2, you also can't get 2 capstones no matter what, even if you were to take the 2 that where you can currently get it. So, also Blindside. Also, something to note about Blindside, I doubt you'd really ever take this when it's competing against a capstone or Serrated Bone Spike or Sepsis.
Yeah, I almost wish that they would up the chance to proc Blindside, so it really felt like that execute was like you would pick up that plus Zoldyck, because right now, like you really don't take this too often, and it just seems like having those extra bleeds on the right for the just flat damage would just be better, like with the lethal dose. If you know, like the Doomblade and the Serrated Bone Spike.
Oh shit, I'm looking at this now. I think that's why Poison Bomb has 2 points. I don't know if I agree with that design though. So Kingsbane has like crazy synergy with lethal poisons, so the ability to have 2 lethal it's almost certainly intentional that you can't have 2 lethal poisons and also have Kingsbane. But I feel like you could just change that part about Kingsbane and it would be fine to make up for the fact that this is some new thing that is here.
Yeah.
Just something I was thinking about. Okay. Let's do what spec do you want to talk about next?
We can talk about Outlaw, I guess. They changed some stuff. So they made some of the talents, like if you go to the grappling hook on the left.
Yep.
The grappling hook, and then one down was the stamina. So this was like much further down on the right-hand side. I believe they changed the right-hand side too, which sort of goes towards AoE with the improved Blade Flurry and whatnot. The riposte is new, I think, which is just under the between the eyes at the top. But I don't really... Like, I don't know when you would ever use that thing outside of PvP, which maybe it's fine. It just feels like a lot of the time the PvP nodes are kind of like extensions onto either like the right and left of a tree usually. And this one is like sort of a central...
Oh, I see that.
I guess.
So like if you really want to go down the like kind of like the AoE path, you're forced into taking that node. I think why this exists is like clearly this row 3 is intended to all be utility. It's movement speed, it's riposte, it's stamina, and it's retractable hook. However, retractable hook and this one are like on a tangent node and you don't have to select them. And these stamina is useful in all content, and this is not useful at all in PvE stuff. So maybe having this moved or changed would be that's I like that. That's a good take. Is everything still good with its power level? You have the increased melee range. You have the blade flurry strikes 8 targets now instead of 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most classes are 8 target capped anyway.
Yeah, they added one thing that's pretty notable, not necessarily about the tree itself, but like about the spec, is that they made Dreadblades, which is like the choice node on the right, bottom right,
Bottom right,
or there,
right
yeah,
here. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. They made that interact with your cooldown reduction that you get like just in your class kit, which it never did
Okay.
before. And so the reason why that has a lot of cool synergy is basically, like when you use this, every single generator that you do basically immediately puts you at max combo points. And so then because of this talent, you're spending a ton of combo points, which means you're getting this ability off cooldown way faster as well. So that's kind of cool. Um, Everything else is pretty much the same, but like most of the stuff's not yet implemented, so it's hard to say. And
Yeah, you haven't been able to play with it. Yeah.
yeah, they put a choice node on the left for sepsis, which is kind of cool.
With Ghostly Strike.
Yeah, Ghostly Strike used to be higher by itself, and then they put sepsis there. Sepsis could be kind of cool because that free stealth ability that you get would apply find weakness from like the main rogue class tree if you like go for that
Yeah.
Shadow Dance Outlaw angle. So
Yep.
that's kind of cool. Yeah, a little tough to say like if it feels bad going certain paths or whatever because I think most of them are being implemented next week, but I think the changes are pretty good. Mostly that riposte is kind of weird.
Yeah, Killing Spree and Dreadblades on the same node. When would you select Killing Spree?
So the thing is in order like because Dreadblades is also going to cleave your damage with Blade Flurry, like Killing Spree needs to do some insane damage to merit taking it because like you also put yourself at risk of dying to like a frontal or whatever because you can't control your character. So I feel like the damage on Killing Spree is like way too low. Like I don't know when I would ever take this over Dreadblades. So it's a little bit weird because like when you press that button, like especially like imagine pressing that button on Anduin, like you wouldn't be allowed to press it because you just kill everybody instantly. So like I don't know there's like a lot of times like if you press that button on Stone Legion Generals for example at the wrong time, you're just gonna immediately get cleaved by the Wicked Gash or whatever. So I feel like it needs to pump for you to take it. I feel like it doesn't.
If anything, it should be like a choice node with like Blade Rush. I feel like that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So Outlaw's looking fine. Again, not gonna spend too much time on it because you need to actually play it, and a bunch of stuff doesn't work. Obviously, the whole like keep it rolling, count the odds. That shit sounds insanely fun. So
Yeah.
I cannot wait to play that. All right, I heard they made a decent amount of changes to sub.
So they made a ton of changes to the spells themselves and like the damage for a lot of the talents and whatnot. So I think most of them were beneficial changes, like should do more dam. But in terms of the tree, it's a bit hard to say because a lot of the stuff wasn't working before. Let me pull it up on my screen here. Dark Brew used to be towards the top, which is the bottom right node. And it's a bit interesting because basically before it just kind of made your rupture shadow damage and your poisons will do shadow damage, which is like good because it interacts with your deeper daggers and like the whole theme of the class. But now it just flat buffs your shadow damage by 20%. So a lot of the damage you do as sub rogue is shadow. So that's like really compelling now. And like the middle tree, the shadow mist. I mean, it's hard to say without testing it, but I don't know how useful that will be. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
looks very. There's no way to have an opinion on this until you play with it at all. Like it's a chance, has a chance to do that, or walking through refreshes. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's. And then the left one, activating symbols.
What I would say,
okay.
The nodes on the left side of the tree sound really good for single target. So there's like inevitability, which extends the duration of your symbols. So you're critting a lot more. So you're applying fine weakness more. And like perforated veins is basically like sub rogue's best single target conduit with the tier set. And like all that stuff is over on the left side of the tree. But then finality is like, and deeper daggers is like where sub rogue gets a ton of its damage from right now. And that's all over on the right side of the tree. So it's a little.
Can you do both?
You could do a build where you get a little bit, but I don't think you can go fully all the way down.
I'm gonna do some bong cloud shit real quick.
All right, let's see.
Let me see if this works. I'm not even reading half of these abilities, but there. So you can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even need the rotten, right? But like,
Yeah, I don't think you would take the rotten. I don't even know if you'd take Shadow Dust. But then like the stuff in the middle, you probably definitely want. That's the Stiletto Staccato there.
yep.
And then you would want the Dark Shadow, which is under that one, under Fade to Nothing. It just increases all your dam while in Shadow Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do something like this. I don't think it's interesting.
Oh, this is interesting. Flag gives mastery now.
Yeah, which is really good for sub rogue AoE and their finishers, like if you're funneling. But it's usually like not recommended to go for mastery on single target. So
that's a really
yeah,
cool AoE option, though.
yeah.
That sounds really fucking cool. I'm glad they changed that.
Yeah, and that it makes sense too that that's over next to Shuriken Tornado now, like on the right side. I still worry that there's no reason to ever take Secret Technique, which is that one. Yeah, like basically right now you never play that. It does physical damage, which is already kind of weird because your other finishers have like the physical and the shadow damage portion. So it just ends up doing like a lot more, and its target kept it 5 instead of 8.
Okay, and seems like they
Let's
also made Shuriken Storm baseline, and they gave improved Shuriken Storm as the node at the top. That's good. Oh, and Black Powder's there instantly. Well, didn't Black Powder used to like? Oh, dude, this tree is like totally repathed.
They moved the AoE stuff up, which is good. Doesn't feel as bad going down.
That's really good.
Oh, actually, I'm reading Secret Technique, and it says all enemies now. So, if it doesn't like fall off on damage after 8 targets or whatever, I mean, it could be pretty good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that obviously, Ass got huge raid buffs. Something we didn't talk about with Outlaw because we haven't been able to test it yet. Restless Crew is like potentially super good. And Sub Rogue gets Shrouded in Darkness. Shroud of Concealment increases movement speed of all party and raid members within its radius by 60%. But, at least as far as I'm aware, I'm sure the Rogue community knows more than me, and I've heard communication that this is because your other members of raid are in combat, they're not affected by the Shroud, even if you're in Shadow Dance, and they do not get the movement speed, and apparently that is intended. Like, this is only supposed to be a choice node for, like, shrouding around in dungeons, basically, so it's just like a Mythic Plus node. But that...
It's bad. It, like, because you basically, especially with how many sort of mandatory raid buffs it's looking like there's going to be in a 20-person raid, like, I don't see a world where you would ever bring a sub-rogue unless it just did, like, insane damage.
And even if it did do insane damage, you're talking about it being the third rogue in your group.
Yeah, exactly. It's like...
That's a big problem.
Yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't want it to work in raid, or...
I'm not sure. I actually haven't heard anything about that myself. I just heard the rogue community said that was brought up, and it was said to be intentionally like that. So,
yeah, that's also what I've heard.
I feel like they should let it work. It's like a super long CD. Like, giving sub rogues the ability to have a roar is like potentially good. So
yeah,
I don't know if I still think even if this the thing is even if this did work in PvE when people were in combat, it would still be the third rogue in your raid only based on tuning. So
right,
like, it's not like it would be super OP. It would just be kind of nice.
And a lot of the other classes that would be in the raid already have, like, you have Roar, you have Zephyr potentially, you have Windrush, all those. So it would have to be real good, like a Hollanders type of thing for you to bring it just for the move speed. Yeah. But I think it's pretty cool. I'll know like way more next week. I believe that's when most of the rogue stuff is supposed to get put in.
Sweet.
So fingers crossed.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's all I need you for. Are you running some dungeons, bud?
Yeah, I've been testing out a little bit of Rogue in the dungeons. Kind of hard to
But
play, but it pumps.
wait, does it pump?
Well, it's like bugged. So, like, there's a lot of factors that are making you do way less damage than you should do. But then there's a lot of things that you would never be able to do that are making you do way more damage than you should be able to do. So, yeah, it's kind of janky. It's weird. But it's all right. We'll know if it actually pumps next week. You can go ahead and show
Dude, you need to get a new monitor, man. You
Yeah,
have
no,
to get a new monitor. Just get a second monitor, dude. Okay. So you did a dungeon as Outlaw Rogue and did 22k DPS. That's actually the most I've seen. What dungeon is this?
This is Nelthorus, the fire flame one. But the like pistol shot is doing
the most
a lot
I
more
saw
than it
before
normally.
this was an Ellie Shaman doing 19k. So
Yeah.
that's fucking banger. And your class isn't even working. Let's go.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot of the damage is probably coming from the beneficial bug. So we'll have to see.
Wait, what beneficial bug?
Like basically right now there's a legendary on live that makes it so when you between the eyes, your next pistol shot deals a bunch of damage. But there's a talent point that get like whenever you get a pistol shot proc, you get like 3 pistol shot procs. And so when you can use all the pistol shots as if they're like empowered pistol shots. And so instead of one pistol shot doing a lot of damage, you have like a bunch of pistol shots doing a lot of damage. So it's all messed up. Like you can barely play the class. But next week you'll be able to test. We'll be able to see everything.
All right. Hell yeah, dude. All right, that's all I need you for.
Cool, man.
Thanks for yeah.
Yep. GG.
Bye-bye.